The entertainment world and fans alike still in shock after news that comedy and acting legend Robin Williams dead at 63 from what investigators believe was an apparent suicide. Welcome to the News Hub. I'm Simon Constable. Let's go straight out to the Midwest, where WSJ entertainment reporter John Jurgensen joins us now to discuss the legacy. John, thanks for being there.
Good morning.
So you cover the entertainment industry. This is a massive, massive loss. He's been part of everybody's youth, and he's got better as we've got older.
That's true. I mean, he's one of those institutions in and of himself where you say his name and instantly memories are conjured up of some of his great performances, and also just his style, which was so unique. It was from the very first moment where mainstream audiences were introduced to him on Happy Days and Mork and Mindy, it was very obvious that this was coming from a very organic place, that this was an improvisational force of nature that wasn't being scripted for the most part, and it was very genuine to him.
And I've been hearing about the lack of scripting. Even when he did stand-up, he sort of did the opposite. He sort of let it spew out live on stage with that. I've also heard a lot of people say that this was a guy who was very humble in many ways. When he was doing his work was about doing the work, worked very hard. Can you elaborate a bit more?
Yeah, definitely one of these stand-up comedians who remained a core of the industry, of that part of the craft, even though he was a massive star, and I think struggled at times with reconciling those two parts of his world, the movie star and the stand-up stage comedian. I think he always remained part of the fabric of that community, which is very tight-knit and very conscious of who belongs and still belongs to that group. And he always worked on that craft, and I think he always, to the end, even when he was better known as a stage actor or a film actor, would always be identified as a stand-up comedian first.
It's rare to have that much range, isn't it? To have the stand-up ability and the comic ability on film and the drama ability. I mean, the whole thing was very much that. Good Will Hunting is a great example of that very moving story.
Yeah, and I think that's what people were surprised about, and he became very known for relatively early in his career. I mean, even Good Morning Vietnam had certain dramatic touches to it. Good Will Hunting, Dead Poets Society, of course, being one of the hallmark movies of many people in that generation. Even smaller movies like one from 2002 called 1 Hour Photo, which was more of a thriller where he played a person who became obsessed with a suburban family. These smaller roles that maybe didn't get as much attention definitely showed off his range, and probably proved that he was a guy who was kind of questing for an outlet. I think he had so much of this energy and so much of this creativity that he needed places to put it. And sometimes it was in a smaller, subdued film like that, where he wasn't in a whirlwind of comic energy that we're used to. They were really effective in that way. And
John, tell us, some fans are saying, look, we'll never see the likes of him again. Is that fair, or do these phenomena, they come up, but it's just very rare?
I mean, I think it's fair to say he's one of a kind. I don't think, improvisational comedians are very common, but the ones who did it in this kind of stream of consciousness, unbridled way that he had, I think is never going to be seen again in that way. So it's certainly one of a kind. And I think a lot of people are, mourning also the projects that didn't get completed. There was a Mrs. Doubtfire sequel that was in the works that never really got off the ground, which is unlikely to go anywhere now. Something like that, which was one of his most popular roles, is also unfortunate that's not going to be made.
Okay. We appreciate your time, John. Thank you very much. John Jurgensen of the Wall Street Journal.